Hey there, web slingers and true believers. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Today we're diving into one of the most influential video games of all time, Spider-Man 2 for the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. So previously on my channel, I played through the first Spider-Man game and explained all my nostalgia along with it.
Thanks again.
No problem. Grab hold of a road balloon anytime. Rescuing damsels is my specialty.
And once again, I cannot understate how big this game was for my childhood. I'll get into it as we go, but I'm actually nostalgic for Spider-Man 2 for an entirely different reason than the first game. But just to mention this game's importance to Spider-Man media as a whole, this was the very first Spider-Man game to have a fully open world. The first one where his webs actually stuck to the buildings that he swings on. The first one to have these random events just pop up. It truly made you feel like Spider-Man. The physics-based web swinging system was designed by Jamie Fristrom. So this man right here, this is the man we have to thank for any and all future Spider-Man games. He was apparently inspired by this old game called Rocket Jockey. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here, but I can see the vision of like making this into Spider-Man webs. Then obviously another inspiration was Grand Theft Auto 3. Apparently Jamie currently works for Mojang Studios, the people who make Minecraft. I find it amazing that still to this day when you search his name, Spider-Man 2 shows up. Like, if that doesn't show you how important this game truly was, I don't know what else could. 20 years later, when you search this guy's name, it still shows up, like a Spider-Man movie tie-in game. But the question is, how does it hold up? That's what we are gonna find out today. The story of the game, similar to the first one, more or less follows the movie. I'd say this one is a better adaptation, kind of. The game opens with the camera panning throughout the city and, oh boy, the texture pop-ins. Look, I'm playing the GameCube version of the game. I'm sure the Xbox or PS2 versions may have had better graphics or whatever, but look, after setting up the emulator for the last game just so I could do those Craven levels, I found out that Xbox emulation is a bitch. So we're playing the GameCube version, okay? Hey look, Bruce Campbell's back.
Well, sequel time already, huh? Welcome back, I guess. I'm sure you miss me more than I missed you.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I love that they got him for the tutorials of these games, like no joke. You can also collect these hint markers throughout the city and he voices those as well. Here's a fun moment that you just knew I had to test the game.
So the next thing I want you to do is jump off the building. I mean it, just jump. Hey, I wouldn't tell you to do something dangerous and life-threatening, would I? You always do what people tell you. You know, there's a word for that. Loser. So what now, wise guy? Just a little friendly advice, before you die, that is. You're gonna want to shoot a web line to save yourself. Anytime now, that pavement's not getting any softer. Hit this swing button, will ya? Ouch.
Now we get to actually web swing, and oh man, the nostalgia. Our first real mission is Peter arriving late to Dr. Connor's class, which by the way, I think is something the game does really well. Here's how they really make you feel like Spider-Man. I swear, every single mission of the game starts like this. The game tells you to go to a location, you get there, but Peter realizes he forgot to do something. Maybe it's meet up with MJ, maybe do something with Aunt May, but oh no, Peter forgot.
Oh no. Dr. Connor's class.
Go do that, head back to where you were going the first time, but oh no, someone needs saving along the way, so you gotta save them. Now you finally get to where you're going, but you're late. Rinse, repeat. Literally every mission. But it's a nice formula, I like it. But Peter, man, time management skills. But yeah, late for Dr. Connor's class, beat up some guys, late for a meeting with MJ and Harry. Harry is still voiced by Josh Keaton, by the way. This is also the first cutscene when you actually get the story of the movie coming in. Harry mentions that he don't like Spider-Man.
I know you think Spider-Man killed your dad.
He did kill my dad. Someday I'll get him for it, too. Tell him that next time you see him.
Also, if you thought live-action Toby had absolutely no tact in keeping his secret, just see voice-acted Toby right here.
I'll get you a ticket for your birthday. Can you swing by later and pick it up?
Huh? Oh, swing by, yeah. Bruh. Yeah, I promise I'll go.
Most missions in the game end with these internal monologue segments from Peter.
Man, that cake was good. I'm stuffed. I'd better burn off some calories or I won't fit in my costume anymore.
They're goofy. I don't want to harp on Toby's voice acting in the game too much, but it's bad. We all know it's bad. He half-assed it. It's fine. I actually don't even really hate that he half-assed it. Like, it legitimately is sometimes hilarious. His deadpan delivery makes him come across like such an asshole.
I think you zigged when you should have zagged. I can't have a battle of wits with an unarmed opponent. Anyone here? Committing crimes, maybe?
Save some people for a while, and of course the next mission, Peter forgets something else. He had to go pick up a ticket for MJ's show, and he's late. MJ is of course mad at Peter, because when isn't she in a Spider-Man project? But he has to run off because he sees some criminals. These guys are breaking into an art gallery, so we beat all of them up, and it turns out Black Cat is here.
You got nice moves for a dork in tights.
Yeah, just like the last game, there are a few other popular Spidey characters who appear in this game. These missions with Kat usually just involve chasing her down and then fighting a bunch of dudes. So, I really, really, really like Black Cat's inclusion in this game. Legitimately, as a kid, keep in mind I was a child, I actually didn't like the movie Spider-Man 2 as much.
It rides up in the crotch a little bit, too.
Or at least I held a personal grudge against it because I played this game and I was mad that she wasn't actually in the movie. Honestly, her inclusion in the game really fits with the themes of Spider-Man 2 anyways, so it works really well. Now, what doesn't work is Tobey Maguire and Holly Fields flirting. Good God.
You always chase girls who brush you off?
No, only the naughty ones. I have standards, after all.
Standard is the word. And here I was expecting amazing.
Just to take it in for a minute. You are amazing.
She runs off and we have a job at the Daily Bugle to do. Yeah, that's another thing that just wasn't in the first game. Now look, I get if J.K. Simmons isn't available or too expensive or whatever. And I don't mean to hate on someone's acting, but...
I don't pay you for your opinion, Parker. I pay you for photos.
Bro. Daily Bugle missions are just going to a location and collecting these tokens, which basically just mean you're taking pictures from different spots. Nothing special. Once we leave, though, it turns out Rhino is attacking nearby.
Spider-Man, huh? Finally. I've been dying to see what you can do. Let's go.
Rhino, I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're strong, but dumb.
This boss battle is basically just a tutorial for how to use your dodges, so it's super easy. Except for when the fight glitched out the first time and I lost all of my health and died instantly.
Whoa, that Rhino is one tough cookie. You don't want to get hit by him. Luckily, you've got spider sense. See that flash on your head?
Look out! Miss Keisha! Miss Keisha! Miss Keisha! Oh my fucking god, she's looking dead.
It also kind of disappoints me that this is the only appearance of Rhino in the game. Like, just comparing it to the first game, every one of the villains had at least, like, 2 levels with, like, a tiny amount of story. Rhino is literally just attacking a random street. No context as to why or what he's doing, just fight him. The end. Especially since someone you fight later in the game is a repeated villain from the first game. I just wish they gave that time to Rhino instead is all. It is kind of silly though that when you tie him up he is actually hanging around in game. Which by the way is a move you can do to like regular enemies later on and I love it. Also slightly annoying. Because of the order of events I did in the game it kind of skipped over me doing the pizza delivery. This is unacceptable. Basically I'd gotten enough hero points before going to the pizza parlor so the story mission autoplayed.
Hey, Parker. I have pizzas waiting to be delivered to customers because you weren't here. Hurry and deliver these and don't mess things up.
Why is the pizza music so loud? Oh my god. These are the only missions that matter. Nothing else. Pizza delivery. No, these are actually really fun though. I like them. It is nice that you have to avoid doing acrobatics or landing on the ground too hard or else you'll mess up the pizza. I like it. They're fun missions. On my way to the next story mission, we come across the worst part about this game, the controls. Alright, so anybody who played this game is going to have this phrase burned into your brain forever.
Nice peaceful day.
Oh no, my balloon!
No.
My balloon!
No. No. No!
Yes, the child looking for his balloon. These are just one of many random events that can pop up for you. Here's the thing. These suck. You just have to listen to a crying kid scream at you, and god damn it, these are so hard to get. If you miss getting the balloon on the first try, just give up. You are not getting it. Let the kid cry. And since I'm talking about it now, I'll finally say something that may make people mad. And I'm sorry if this is, sacrilegious, but this game kinda sucks. Listen, I know it's super influential, super nostalgic, and all of those things, but oh man, this game's design is so frustrating. If you remember, I had similar thoughts about the first Spider-Man game. It also had wonky controls and frustrating things about it. But there are 2 things that make it okay. Health packs are a big one, yeah, because you only get them in Spider-Man 2 after beating a mission, and not even all missions. And the big one, difficulty settings. Spider-Man 2 is freaking hard, dude. And the worst thing, it's not hard because of good design. It's hard because the controls are so bad. I will also say this. The controls are totally fine in the open world. Like, swinging around feels great. It's certain specific levels where you're inside or other design choices are made that the game is so fucking hard. All right, I've gotten that out of the way. Let's move on. Okay. So we go meet up with Harry and, okay, I didn't say this before, but Harry in this game looks so off. Like, every other model in the game isn't amazing or anything. It's like PS2, GameCube era graphics or whatever. But, what's up with Harry's face? Why Harry's face look like that? You get a quick tour of Dr. Octavius's machine and back to saving people. See, kind of the frustrating thing about talking about this is most of the cutscenes in this game are like one singular event happens and that's it. Not only that, stuff that happens in like one scene in the movie is split up into multiple missions. Anyway, we hear a jewelry store's alarm go off and see Black Cat on the run, so we gotta chase her down.
I'd know that silhouette anywhere.
Awkward flirting.
I saw you leaving that jewelry store. You know, the one with the alarm blasting.
I don't have any jewels.
Wait, what's your name?
Me? I'm Black Cat. And I just crossed your path. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Whoa. I wonder if there's a Mr. Black Cat.
Back at the Bugle, Jameson tells Peter about a guy named Quentin Beck. Yeah, that guy. He's openly challenging Spider-Man at a sports arena, calling him a fraud, so we gotta go take him on. You know, it's funny, as a kid I remember really hating this level, but as an adult I honestly think this might be the best one in the whole game. It's the only level where I feel like there's enough area to roam, and it tests your abilities. I really like it. Part 1 of the competition with Quentin is collecting these criminals and putting them into these slots. Questionable moral implications there, but teehee video game? Fun thing I enjoy here is the sports announcers actually mention one of the criminals is the Shocker.
And virtually every one of these convicted criminals is someone Spider-Man helped capture, including one celebrity criminal, Herman Schulz, aka the Shocker.
I like that a lot. Call back to when you fought him in the first game. Part 2 is an obstacle course that I totally cheesed my way through. It's fun though, not too difficult. After beating Beck, he gets embarrassed. Aw, poor guy. Surely nothing bad ever happens from embarrassing Quentin Beck.
He renamed my life's work. Barf.
We head back to Octavius's lab, and the pacing of this game is so funny. This cutscene is pretty much pointless. We already met Otto. This scene could have just been included in the last one. But remember the formula I mentioned earlier of Peter being late to things? Yeah, he's late to MJ's play. And of course, on the way, we gotta stop some criminals. Peter gets there just in time to see MJ with her new mans, John Jameson. That's not Elijah Michelson.
John Jameson, what are you doing here?
I could just as easily tear those eyeballs from your skull and feed them to your sister.
Black Cat shows up and we go take out some bad guys together. Once again, though, I really like Black Cat's inclusion, though. See what I mean? It fits in the movie's story so well. This was the movie with John Jameson and MJ recreating the kiss and all of that drama. Legitimately, Black Cat fits so well. It just makes so much sense that he would be going through all of this at the same time. More or less, Black Cat takes the place of the whole Spider-Man No More plot of the movie. Because yeah, the entire subplot of Spidey losing his powers and giving up being Spider-Man and all that, none of that is in the game. I'm not mad about it though, because I understand that that would be kind of hard to adapt. It's pretty much all condensed into one line of dialogue later in the game where Peter literally says,
So, what, do I quit being Spider-Man?
A few moments later.
No, I can't quit either. I helped so many people. I can't give up being Peter Parker, but I can't give up being Spider-Man either.
But yeah, we fight the bad guys together. Of course, if you know me at all, you know I love making my computer teammates fight for me. So let's see if Black Cat can take this guy. Yeah, turns out Cat was just trying to steal a statue from him. Gotta love it. Back at the Bugle, Beck is now having a news conference about his issues with Spider-Man, and Peter has to go take pictures. Right before the conference begins, though, an alien named Mysterio attacks. Oh no, an alien! Crazy! We get to the auditorium and have to save these people and defeat these robots.
Okay, I'll bite. How did the fishbowl get stuck on your head?
Insolent human, you are no match for the power of Mysterio.
Mysterio? I think I had a bowl of Mysterios for breakfast.
You can't actually hit Mysterio though, he's just a hologram. This mission was fine until, you know, I beat every robot and then fell into the lava and had to start over. That was fun. Mysterio says he's attacking the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so we gotta head there. Okay, remember when I complained about the controls? Holy fuck, this level sucks. This is awful. I want to meet who designed this level because it's so bad. I hate it. I need to let them know. I'm angry at them. The camera is so wonky, it is impossible to get the height you need, but Jesus, after 20 minutes or so, I finally beat it, somehow. Mysterio tells you to come fight him at his hidden fortress, so yeah, let's go take out this alien threat.
Wow. Mysterio's hidden fortress looks just like an apartment.
This whole level's pretty fun. It's all kind of illusions with clowns and crazy stuff. This part where you have to fight a bunch of yourselves and take out all of these mirrors is kind of annoying, but mainly just because there are so many mirrors. In Mysterio's back room, it turns out it was just another hologram. Also, there's a lizard mask back here. I like that. Now it's finally time for Octavius's presentation, which we obviously know does not go well. His wife dies, the machine goes crazy, and another super frustrating level. Look, I know there's some kind of pattern to this force field thing, but it's really hard to figure out. I'm pretty sure it changes every time you press a switch too. But yeah, that's all you gotta do is go around pressing all these switches. But man, it sends you like a freaking pinball when you get hit by it. This took me way longer than it should. It's less frustrating than like the Mysterio one, because this one's really short. All you have to do is press all the switches. But man, I can't tell you, it's just so annoying. Spidey leaves after disabling the machine, and Octavius is left behind for the ambulance.
It sounds like an ambulance is coming. I better get out of here. Somehow I just know I'm gonna get blamed for this.
I'm sure that's gonna go well. Yeah, that scene isn't in the game for obvious reasons. What we do have is a scene of Otto and Connors together. I like this. It's not really much of anything, it's just Otto threatening Connors for no real reason. He's just mad, and apparently him and Connors know each other.
Octavius is a friend of mine.
Fun little world building thing. Actually, I'll go and take this time for a side note. I don't exactly know how much was cut, but apparently at one point in time, Kraven and the Lizard were planned to be villains in this game. I only know that because you can find their voice clips on YouTube here.
Reptiles will rule.
That explains why there was a lizard mask in Mysterio's back room. I mean, just like a little nod to maybe the character they wanted to put in but couldn't fit in. Peter finds Connors passed out, and this scene was really funny to me.
Otto. No! Otto? What the heck did he mean by that?
Like, what do you mean? What does he mean by that? You know Dr. Octavius's first name is Otto. Also, you've dealt with the Green Goblin before. This supervillain stuff shouldn't be a surprise. Peter heads to the bank with Aunt May, and why does this guy look like this?
Now, about your loan, Mrs. Parker.
Otto, of course, attacks the bank, and we have a small fight with him. So yeah, fighting Doc Ock in this game is kind of the worst. This is obviously the easiest one, but it's just the way he picks you up for like 10 seconds at a time. It's really annoying. Also, the way Doc Ock just grabs Aunt May at random is really funny.
You interfere with me at that old woman's peril.
No!
Like, yeah, just this random old woman's peril. You chase him down, and then he sets May up on some tracks, and you have to save her. Funnily enough, this is not where the Doc Ock train fight scene is in the game. That's a few missions down the line. You just have more than one scene at a train. I just find that weird. I guess they just couldn't figure out how to save May from, like, a falling building in game, so they're like, yeah, save her from a train. If they did try to condense the levels into one thing, it would significantly shorten the length of the game. This game is already pretty short, and it's only artificially lengthened by the fact that you have to get hero points between each mission. I get it. It's just odd, 2 train scenes like that in one game. Spidey gets back to his apartment, but he gets a call from JJ to go take pictures of a charity ball. He, of course, is late as per usual and overhears John propose to MJ.
Mary Jane has just agreed to marry me, and I couldn't wait to share my happiness with everyone.
I get why this scene was done the way it was, because, you know, modeling an entire party scene just would have been a lot.
Threw a football on the moon.
But it just doesn't hit as hard, man. Where's drunk Harry slapping Peter? That is essential.
Huh? Isn't that right? Huh, brother?
Black Cat shows up. Turns out the Shocker broke free during our whole bout with Mysterio, and we have to team up with Cat to go take him out. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. It's a fun level, but if I'm honest, I kind of wish it was Rhino or Lizard or Kraven instead. Like, I like Shocker as a villain, but you know, we had him in the last game. Did we need him again? I liked the little nod they did in the Mysterio level, but I just wish it was just that. Like, just a little nod, and we moved on to a different character. The boss fight is okay, and Cat actually does kind of help by taking out his minions. Shocker hits Cat and takes off running. Cat's okay though, she immediately gets up and leaves. They just treat it like way worse of an injury than it actually is. Head to the Bugle, and I got a glitched cutscene. You know, it's funny, I'm pretty sure this used to glitch out for me as a child too. Is there an actual cutscene that's supposed to follow here, or is this just a mistake? Mysterio is trying to rob a convenience store.
Sure, Space Dude, whatever you say, just don't disintegrate me or whatever.
How low the mighty have fallen.
You dare to challenge the infinite light of Mysterio?
This is actually the best boss fight in the game, though. Like, the strategy you need to take him out is top tier. It honestly took me a long time to figure it out because Mysterio's character is designed to be so intelligent that it's really difficult to land a hit on him, and the dialogue is actually super fun, too. You know, he's hilarious. Why would you not want to hear more Mysterio? And he has so much...
Whoa, that was sick, dude.
Yeah, I loved this as a kid. I thought it was hilarious. Great ending to the Mysterio stuff. And oh my god, what a shock. Quentin Beck is Mysterio. Crazy. Okay, I know this is little, but I really like that Mysterio was introduced as Quentin first. It really made it feel kind of like how the villains were introduced in the Raimi movies. Peter tells JJ about all this, which of course he takes as Spider-Man and Mysterio were working together or something like that.
Where's the fire?
I don't have time to talk. I need to have a word with the publisher of the Daily Bugle.
Whoa there.
That paper has turned half the city against me. I'm sick and tired of it.
Well, I'm sure that bursting into the Bugle offices and yelling will clear everything up. You seriously need to loosen up. Have more fun. You're a superhero. You swing through New York City in brightly colored tights.
I like my costume.
Black Cat and Spidey meet up again to go take out the Shocker. The boss fight with him here is fine, it's just tedious in how long it takes. You have to wait on Cat to press these switches and you only get a small of time to actually hit him. More awkward flirting.
Was that as good for you as it was for me?
I have to admit, you were right. I feel much better.
You see? I told you, baby. Stick with me and you'll be fine.
She's pretty amazing, don't you think, Shock?
I think my career has just hit a new low.
Peter goes to spy on MJ and she gets attacked by some muggers. Wait a minute, is this whole segment only here because they didn't do it in the first game? Like the whole scene of Spider-Man saving MJ and the upside down kiss because they didn't adapt it in the first game? They're like, yeah, we could just throw it in the second. I mean, they don't really do the kiss, but it's very clearly that scene. Meet up with Black Cat and she tells you that she wants you to move on from MJ.
What took you so long?
Running late seems to be part of my idiom.
You work too hard. Ditch the mild-mannered civilian routine. This life is so much more fun. Look at me. Sure, I can play hero if I want. But if I don't feel like it...
This next chase is actually not a chase, it's a race, which I was not paying attention to for the first few seconds, so this actually turned out super freaking close. Alright, now there's this big fight at a warehouse, and holy crap, this is hard. These robot dudes are the worst, I am not kidding. I pretty much hid after taking a few of them out and made Black Cat do all the work. Listen, I did this like 5 times, I don't care, I needed to beat it. Spidey is mad at Black Cat for the way she just jumped in without thinking about it, and he breaks up with her.
I don't think I can see you anymore.
Hysterical blindness?
What? Oh, nothing like that.
Let's skip ahead to the part where you ask if we can still be friends.
Can we still be friends?
Don't sound so dejected. Once I cross your path, I'm not so easy to get rid of.
I mean, it's not nothing, but I like it a lot. Imagining a world where Sam Raimi put Black Cat in his movie and that was like an added part of the Spider-Man No More plot. That would be so cool. It's just crazy to me that we haven't gotten a live-action Black Cat yet. Harry makes the deal with Doc Ock, Spider-Man, in exchange for the tritium he needs.
Make a deal. We want the same thing.
Oh?
Spider-Man.
Please. Elucidate for me.
And MJ and Peter meet up to talk about their relationship. Doc Ock attacks and we get the train fight. This is a really good boss fight. The first fight with Doc Ock was too easy and the next, well, we'll get into. This one though, the combination of having to dodge his stuff and him throwing you off, it's a solid fight. Spidey is kidnapped, taken to Harry, the exchange is made, and Harry discovers Peter is Spider-Man.
Before I kill you, I want to see who you are. Peter? How can you be Spider-Man?
Harry, we don't have time for this. Octavius has MJ. You have to tell me where he is. I have to save her.
We have to race to get to Doc Ock's warehouse, which I actually failed the first time. But we get there, and I have been waiting for this all video. This level. This is one of the worst levels I've ever seen in a video game. I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but good God, man, I hated this. You just have to run around, press all of these switches to shut off the machine. Sounds simple, right? Remember that annoying force field thing from earlier? Well, it's that again, along with the switches. And Doc Ock running around chasing you. And, if you fall in the water, you instantly lose. The amount of times I fell in this goddamn water.
Oh no!
The first 4 switches are simple, you just jump around and you get them. There's 3 more that are in these rooms, slightly harder to get, but not really an issue. It's the last 2. One of them isn't too bad, it's just on a wall that you have to climb up to. It's kind of a pain because pressing the button on the wall is difficult. That's where the problem with the last switch comes in. This fucking switch. This it's in just above the water right under one of these platforms. The amount of times I had this switch easy, no problem, and just fell in the water because of these controls. I cannot stress to you enough how frustrating this was. Like, genuinely, I was sitting there for an hour trying to beat this level. I've ranted about it enough. I did eventually beat it, and we have the final boss fight with Doc Ock. This was a little difficult, but not the worst. It's just a slightly harder version of the train fight. It can be frustrating for the same reasons as before, mainly he just picks you up for so long, like, please, can I move? And there we go, we beat him in the same ending as the movie plays out. Doc Ock sacrifices himself, and MJ leaves on her wedding day to be with Peter. They didn't put her in her wedding dress in this one, though. So, good on you for being a little less corny.
Go get him, Tiger.
The end credit song is a fun rock version of the Spider-Man theme. And yeah, we're done with the game. You're sent back in the open world and you can do whatever you want now. There isn't much else to do though other than just random side missions. The only big thing that I'm aware of is the battle arena. I'm not doing it though. I struggled enough as is. And the only thing of note really there is there's a special boss with Calypso in it. I didn't even know this existed as a kid. Wild. You can also fight all the other bosses again. There's no other suits, no super fun cheats to mess around with like the first game. Kind of a letdown. I even remember as a kid being disappointed by that. Pretty much the only cheat is if you enter Treyarch at the beginning of the game, you automatically beat the game, you unlock everything, and you have a bunch of hero points, which kind of takes all the fun out. You know, looking back on this video, I am being a little hard on this game. Then I thought about it for a minute. I had mentioned earlier that I was nostalgic for this game for a totally different reason than the first one. Well, you see, I'm not nostalgic for this game's story mode. At least not as much. If you were anything like me as a kid, the story mode of this game was not the appeal. This was the first game where you had an open New York City to swing around as Spider-Man. It's the first game where you were just helping random citizens on the street. It's the first game where we all realized that Spider-Man and trees don't mix. It's the game where you helped the random kid with the balloon. It's the game where you found the tallest building you could, charged up your jump, and fell all the way to the bottom. The story mode of this game is not great, and in some ways people may say there's no real reason to play this game now that newer Spider-Man games have taken what they learned from it and expanded on it and made it even better. And in some ways you are right. But even if you don't want to play this game in its entirety, if you are a Spider-Man fan, this game is a must play. In order to move forward, you must know where you came from.
I lost my balloon!
Hey, thank you so much for watching. It'd be awesome if you sub to the channel. It helps me out a lot. I also have all my social medias listed over there on the side and more videos if you want to watch those, please. All right, see you guys next time. Peace out.